is up, guys? It's the Chazbox here, and I'm gonna be honest with you, this video is not the video I was expecting today, but I feel like I have to open up about this since I have not spoke about it in a very long time. But, yeah. So, you guys can tell from the title, it's about me not playing Rec Room very much. And the reason I'm talking about this because I came across one of my buddies named Mavin VR. I saw his video today, and he saw another YouTuber's video, which is Slat, another YouTuber, but he's one of the main users who does YouTube / Rec Room for a very long time, like since day one. And let's just say when I saw the video and Mav explained what's going on, and then Slat was explaining what's going on their behalf, I was not very happy about what I heard. For what I know is that I feel bad, and I don't feel comfortable with Rec Room anymore at this point. Like, at this point I don't feel like try to go back anymore because the game has been nothing but awful security behavior lately. And not only that, but it's been nothing but drama. With that being said, I do want to point out why I don't do Rec Room anymore. Especially VR content, but more mainly Rec Room. So anyways, with that being said, I'm going to tell you why I don't play Rec Room much anymore. Back in 2020, when COVID hit, nobody can go anywhere, nobody can't leave the house, nobody can't go to school, go to work, or anything. Rec Room was the game I was introduced by my ex. She asked me if I had Rec Room, and I said to her that I don't have a recording room. Because she thought, when she said Rec Room, I thought she meant like a recording room. But then she told me what Rec Room is, I was like, oh, okay, that's pretty interesting. So she showed me what it looks like, and showed me how the game works. It's pretty much just like a very whole, I wouldn't say anti-social, but very socializing game. But not the way that I think. From what I thought it was gonna be like, it's gonna be full of at least a little bit of teenagers, a lot of adults, and a little bit of minors, whatever. But then my mind was telling me I was wrong this whole time because the game was nothing but full of minors and a little bit of teenagers. So with that being said, that didn't bother me at first because I would just expect that some of these kids, just be kids, whatever. I'm just not gonna bother them so much or even interact with them. Because some of these kids have some very toxic behavior that I did not expect them to be. And not only that, but they'll start using me to blame for something that I didn't commit. And then they'll accuse me thinking I did something wrong. The game was fun for a while. I had my own friends I met back in there. But some of them were either toxic, just like everybody else was, or we just never talked again. Because most of the friends I had before were already gone, and there are some I'm still friends with to this day. I had a little bit of fun in the game, and that's when I started meeting some of the YouTubers, or RecTubers that people say, or kids say most likely. I think the first RecTuber I met was probably Tidal Wave, and I'm still friends with him to this day because me and him does hang out once in a while to see how we see each other doing, see how our day been, whatever. But other than that, yeah, it's been a hot minute since me and him talked. Me and him do talk once in a while. Whenever we do talk, it's either because I make an art piece or an edit that's something about him, and then he will come up to my page and be like, wow, did you make this? Like this and this and that? And I was like, yeah, like I made that. Do you like it? And then he'll tell me like he likes it very much or he'll love it very much. Like pretty much he'll tell me everything to make me like feel special to him. So after Tidal Wave, then that's when I met one of the Rec Room staff members, which is, I believe, Corbin's, Marissa, Harry Manlegs, and I think there were a couple more staff members. I forgot the name. Oh yeah, I think Emily Waffles. I met her twice. I met her once back in like last Halloween, and I met her last time I think around last year. But anywho, I met her twice. And there was so much rare because Emily Waffles was a very rare staff to meet, honestly, in my opinion. But as for like Corbin's, for example, he is very active and he is very chill and cool. Me and him do sometimes talk too, once in a while, but most likely car related stuff because me and him are into cars. But anywho, I wouldn't say that'll be enough for the good side, but I'm not trying to make this a video about don't play Rec Room, whatever. This is just my theory and how I feel about Rec Room, because I don't want nobody coming on here, or I want any of the staff members to think I don't like this game anymore. It's just, I love the game very much. I really did. But the fact that, that's the point I'm gonna say right now. I've been accused a lot before, a long time ago. It all started back in 2021 actually, and this was the day when I started getting accused of a lot of things I did not do. Like for example, there was one event that happened a long time ago, back in 2021. Somebody accused me, like thinking I was a pedo, and because I was 17 at the time, and I was talking to a 14-year-old, and me and this kid didn't even talk anything weird or anything like that, but they were asking me like, have I been, or if I've been on a date before. Now I am in a relationship, whatever. And this kid literally just tried to ask me out, and I was like, no, I don't want to, because I barely know this kid. And as soon as the kid asked me that question, that's when some other kids or teenagers were saying like, oh, you're a pedophile and this and this and that, and now we're gonna report you and ban you and that. And it was a lot to take, in my honest opinion, and I was mentally drained because of it. Around October, that's when the day where I did not expect it to happen, but I'm pretty sure some of the OGs here know this. But this is the first time where I actually got banned from Rec Room for a year. Like, I couldn't play the game for a year. Why? Because it said I was harassing somebody or doing something inappropriately to somebody. And I didn't know such thing. I didn't know such thing at all. I will admit I did have toxic behavior before, but that's because kids on this game want to be toxic to me first. Like, first of all, I didn't do nothing to these people whatsoever, until all of a sudden they think like I did something wrong to them and they want to accuse me for something I didn't do. So after I got banned for a year, I did play other games. I played VR Chat, Resident Evil, Pavlov, and then Gorilla Tag. And then I did make some content on that back then, and those were a complete success, especially for VR Chat, since VR Chat's like another version of Rec Room, but except with VR Chat you can be whatever the fuck you want. But anywho, after about a year, I was back in Rec Room for like 2 days, until all of a sudden I got banned again. And this time I was banned for 6 months, and I couldn't play till after my birthday. So after I came back, I was like, I'm very precautious about revealing myself at this point, because I feel like people are just gonna target me thinking I'm gonna do something wrong, even though I didn't do jack shit. Because I was very low profile for a little while, but then I started to become more open and love a little bit, because that's when I started doing Incredibox. Nothing too serious at first. There was one time where I did try to help out a new player who was new to Rec Room, and some of these teenagers were bullying him or her. I can't tell what gender it is. They were bullying them, and I had to step in to tell them to like piss off, whatever. Tell them like stop messing with them. They didn't do nothing. And then they're saying like, oh, you can go select a D, this and this and that. And I was like, are y'all kidding me right now? Because first of all, what did this kid ever do to you? and they said nothing. We just want to torture him and accuse him for something that, yeah, like they just straight up admitted saying like they did something wrong, but we're trying to put the blame on them to make them feel better. And I was like, are y'all kidding me right now? Like, are y'all mentally brain dead? Because there's a lot of things you could do on Rec Room besides bullying a kid. Like, that is just really fucked up. And they said I could go piss off, whatever, and I can go kill myself, whatever. And at this point, when I started to like lose my temper, there were some more people who were on my side, and they try to help me back up this kid, telling them, those teenagers, to like f off, whatever. And then I remember there was one dude, I forgot what his name was. He also stepped in, but then he started roasting the crap out of these kids. And I was like just standing there quiet, just watching it happen. Same thing with the newbie. Because what I did to the new player, I gave him a gift because I was being nice. And then these kids came up to us, started bullying him or her, and then they're looking at me saying like, why am I being nice to the kid? Like I'm being weird and this and this and that. And I said, what's wrong with gifting a kid? Like, first of all, they're new to Rec Room. I'm gonna give them something. I'm a nice person. I can't be nice for once. And then they were like, no, you can't be nice for once because you're weird. You shouldn't be on this game. This and this and that. And at this point, like I said, I lost my shit. And again, that's when more people did come in, but they also backed me up here. And then one guy did started roasting the crap out of these kids, telling them to like piss off, whatever. So after that, some of the guys and the kid did ask if I was okay, and they asked the kid if they were okay. We said yes, but then at the moment I wanted to be by myself for a minute, just to like tell everybody in the video because it was recorded actually. But I don't know where the footage is, but if I had the chance to find it, I will make sure I'll show it on here. But with that being said, I recorded myself. I did record a little bit of the event, and I was telling everybody how I feel about the fucking game. It's how Rec Room is not a good place to like hang out in too much lately because kids on there will be toxic to you no matter what, even if you didn't do nothing. Especially when you try to be nice to somebody on the game, then yeah, they're just gonna accuse you for something that you didn't do, or they're just gonna accuse you thinking you're weird. So I had a moment to myself where I almost had a mental breakdown, but I did keep myself calm because people in the game did back me up. Take note of this, they were teenagers and they did care about me and the kid. So it's like, at least I have some teenagers got my back and the dude's back. So with that being said, I was okay after. And then after that, yeah, more crap happened, and they drag in Rec Room to this. And let's just say I'm actually permanent banned this time. The game does not tell me I'm permanent banned, but when I try to log into my account, I couldn't get in. But when I try to email Rec Room telling them to like, hey, like what's going on? And then they told me straight up saying like, hey, I'm sorry to say this, but you're permanently banned from Rec Room. You can't play anymore. And I was like, are y'all serious right now? So yeah, I'm going to say this, like I'm gonna say about everybody, because I'm with everybody for this, but Rec Room needs to do a better job on their security system, because their security on there is very poor. Like, I feel like I don't even want to play the game anymore. Because don't get me wrong, some of the staff on there are cool, but the fact that they're running bots, whatever, is not okay. Because every time I try to say something to them about it, they always tell me like, oh, they can't really do nothing about it, and this and that. And I'm like, what do you guys mean? You guys are staff members of Rec Room. Why can't you guys like see like what really happened to me, this and that? And they're like, I'm sorry, bro, but we can't help you. And I'm just like, man, like y'all guys are seriously. So yeah, like not to be rude or anything, but they really wasted my time and wasted my energy. Because I literally try to show them proof about what really happened to me, and they just don't want to hear me out. So at this point, I'm gonna be honest here. The staff members are cool, but they need to get a better job at this because this is the reason why Rec Room is going down. Because some of the stuff that they're doing on here is not what everybody wants. Like for example, like some of the stuff that they priced up is way too expensive now. Like way too expensive. And there's been some times where I try to save up a lot of my tokens just to get what I want to get, and then it ends up being a waste of money. I had a lot of good times in the game, but at the same time, most likely bad, because, like I said, poor security. Poor ass security. I hate to say it. Poor ass security. I would say something to them about it, but I'm pretty sure they're not going to hear us out about it. So all I can say is that they need to get their heads off their asses and actually do something about it, because people are leaving or not playing Rec Room anymore because of this poor behavior or action that they're not doing at all. And honestly, I hate it. That's why I don't play this game anymore, because of this. Like I said, I love the game, but the fact that they're not doing something about this, especially when it comes to the right decision and the right situation that's actually be handled with, is not, yeah, like they're not doing their jobs. I'm sorry, but this is my opinion about Rec Room. All I can say is that some of the people I met on there, they're cool, but they really need to get their head off their asses and actually do something about it. Because this is one reason why people are leaving the game. Like, I'm sorry, but all I can say is that I'm really done with Rec Room. So to anybody who is friends with me still on Rec Room and wondering what happened to me, this is why. Because poor ass security, toxic kids, mostly kids, and yeah, just everything is just terrible at this point, and I hate it. Because back in 2000, I remember in 2019 probably, maybe 2020, I did see a lot of good stuff on there, a lot of cheap stuff, and a lot of people were friendly. But now in this generation, is just brain dead. So yeah, I'm sorry to say this, but I don't play Rec Room anymore. I'm officially done with Rec Room. I'm sorry to say this to everybody, but I'm done. And to anybody who is friends with me, feel free to add me on Instagram, Discord, whatever. My username is the Chatbox if anybody wants to add me. And to my YouTuber friends, I'm sorry that you have to see me like this. I'm sorry you have to see me go, but this is just the truth of how I feel about the game. Because the game is nothing but pity at this point. Nothing but pittiness. That's why I mostly stick to other games that I like to play, like Need for Speed. Need for Speed may be a little same, but at least I know how to do something in my own ways. So with that being said, I'm done. And I'm sorry to ask for the VR content for everybody who wants me to do VR content again. I'm sorry, but I don't think that's gonna be happening anytime soon. 9 million years. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, doing VR content kind of gives me PTSD. And it kind of gives me a lot of bad memories. Of course, I do keep the old videos that were uploaded a long time ago. But that's just those videos. But when I'm talking about like I'm trying to do the videos now, it's like, doesn't even feel the same anymore. So that's why I'm sticking to mostly Incredibox or Need for Speed. Because like I said, doing VR content just gives me PTSD at this point. And I'm sorry, but that's just the truth. I still play VR, just not the way that I was expecting it to used to be. What do you mean? What do I mean by that is that sometimes I remember it used to be very fun. Everybody was so chill. But as I'm seeing from like TikTok videos from TikTok users seeing how VR chat is, I hate to say it, but I agree with some of the people. I agree with some of the users, especially people who are VR chat players. I totally agree with them. Like I heavily agree with what people say about VR chat. No matter what it is, it's always something related to VR chat. Whatever is something that I've been through or everybody else has been through, it's like I agree. Yeah, with that being said, it's like I'm sorry guys, but I'm not doing VR content anymore. I'm done. I'm actually officially done with VR content. It will never be happening ever again in my entire life. Like I said, giving me bad flashbacks, PTSD, a lot of shit happened to me in the past. To the point it gave me depression and suicide thoughts. And I don't want to do that. Because I know some of you really care about me, and you guys don't want me to hurt myself. And honestly, I'll tell you guys right now, I'm doing the best. I'm doing my hardest. Even though it's not hard enough, it's still enough. Like I'm trying my hardest. So with that being said, I'm not going back to VR anymore because that's how I feel about Requiem now. And I'm not doing VR chat content. I'm not doing VR chat or VR content in general. I keep on saying VR chat. But yeah, I'm not doing VR content in general anymore because, like I said, it doesn't feel the same anymore. Oh, that gives me PTSD. So yeah, I'm sorry guys, but I'm done with VR content. Yeah, I'm sorry. I've been absent from all those games, mostly Rec Room, but yeah. All I can say is that I've been dealing with depression lately, going through a lot mentally, and sometimes physically, but mostly mentally. So yeah. Sorry you had to hear me like this. I was not expecting to do the video, but it had to be done. But I hope you guys understand. But yeah, guys, hope you guys have a great day. Stay safe out there. Make sure always drink a lot of water, because you never know what could be the last for you. With that being said, I'll miss every single one of you in Rec Room. But to some who are friends with me on different games, now you know. Especially one of my friends, my YouTuber friends, Tidal Wave. But most likely, mainly hopefully Mav can see this video. Cause hopefully Mav can understand what happened to me. But yeah, with that being said, I'm done with Rec Room. I'm done with VR content. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm done. I'm very done. This is why I'm mainly sticking to Need for Speed and the Creator Box. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm done.